In the Summa Theologiae, Aquinas cites, I kind of reference them, those are his commentaries over there, but in the Summa Theologiae he quotes St. Gregory the Great's work on morals, and he talks about different effects that result from lust. One of them is a hatred of God. There's a dulling of the intellect, but there's a hatred of God.
That's really
precisely for why the sexual deviants hate Christians. Because we don't just want our behavior tolerated, we want it celebrated.
Right.
It must be celebrated.
Right.
Tolerance isn't enough.
Right.
If I can get you started on how it is this propaganda seeks to establish in the minds of us, not only that what they're doing is harmless, but that it's actually healthy for children that they have divorced parents, or that mum brings a boyfriend home, or mum aborts their baby brother or sister, you know?
So in the beginning of the sexual revolution, some of the pioneers of the sexual revolution, I would put Kinsey in that category, Alfred Kinsey.
Absolute disgusting person.
And Wilhelm Reich. I don't know if you're familiar with him.
A little bit, but more with Kinsey.
Yes. I think most Americans tend to be more familiar.
Tell us about both.
So
if you get a chance.
Wilhelm Reich, doesn't that sound delicious? Anyway, he was a kind of a pseudoscientist in Germany, Austria, in the 30s and 40s, and he actually wrote the book that's called The Sexual Revolution, and that went through multiple printings. And he was the guy, basically what he and Kinsey both wanted to say, building on Freud in a way, is that repressing your sexual urges is bad for you. I mean, this is the basic idea, and it does kind of come from Freud, but it's kind of a mashup of Freud. But anyway, they glommed onto that thought, right? From wherever it came, from the pits of hell maybe, but from wherever that thought came, that repressing your sexual urges is a bad thing and it will harm you mentally. They built on that the idea that they didn't quite say it this way, but the idea that sex is an entitlement, sex is a need. And both Kinsey and Reich had the idea that children were sexual beings, and that it was important that children's sexual desires not be repressed. So children should be allowed to have sex, and their parents shouldn't interfere with this. Now, to be fair to them, neither of them, I think, was themselves a pedophile or lusted after children. But to make their system work, they had to kind of redefine what it meant to be a child, right? And so parents interfering with children's natural desires to be sexual with each other, that this would be harmful to the child, right? And so we had to make it possible for kids to have their own apartments, for example. This is something Reich was big on. They have to have their own apartments and their own income so that they can have sex. Well, when you think about our welfare state that gives people, that you can qualify for social support, even when you're a minor, if you have a child, well, what that means is that 16-year-old who has her first baby, she can move out of her mom's apartment and be on her own. And now whatever supervision her mom and dad might have offered is now gone, or, very, very limited, right? So we've kind of done that in a way.
Hey, thanks so much for watching. Please be sure to like and subscribe and leave a comment below letting us know what you thought about the video.